I have never seen a human being eat in such a disgusting fashion. You ever see it? He's eating today, stuffing it. I never saw. This guy takes a pancake and he's shoving it in his mouth. He's like, thank you guys. Bites this big. Thank you guys. Not a big deal. He's pushing it in. We never saw a guy eat like this. I told my son, he was watching. He said, Daddy, look. I said, don't watch. Little bites, little bites. It's disgusting. Do you want that for your president? I don't think so.
Okay, I gotta eat now. What's about? Why don't some other people eat? Are you eating?
I have never seen a human being eat in such a disgusting fashion. You ever see it? He's eating today, stuffing it. I never saw. This guy takes a pancake and he's shoving it in his mouth. He's like, thank you guys. Bites this big. Thank you. Not a big deal. He's pushing it in. We never saw a guy eat like this. I told my son, he was watching. He said, Daddy, look. I said, don't watch. Little bites, little bites. It's disgusting. Do you want that for your president? I don't think so.
Okay, I gotta eat now. What's about? Why don't some other people eat? Are you eating?
I don't know how to break this. Donald Trump is very upset. Very offering women in his life. He has discovered that women are and it's been very upsetting for him. And this is what I quote. Now, I was there at the debate we had on Saturday night. But I gotta be honest with you. Gotta lay it out on the table. I also went to the bathroom. I know, I have to admit it. I guess I'm a man. Men are allowed to go to the bathroom, but women, what can we say? And this is the quote. I mean, this is the pathology. This is the guy who is leading in the Republican polls. This is what he said. Quote, I know where she went. It's disgusting. This is Hillary Clinton going to the bathroom. This is the issue. It's disgusting. I don't want to talk about it. No, it's too disgusting. Don't say it. It's disgusting. This is a guy who wants to be president of the United States. He must have a very unusual relationship with women.
So what I think, have to do is to defend the Affordable Care Act and fix it. And I want to share a quick story to tell you why this is so important to me. This is a letter from someone who's here, and she gave me this letter. Something that I can read about it. She has to take a brand name drug. She's been taking it since the early 1980s. At that time, back in the 1980s, for the same drug, it cost approximately $180 for 10 shots. The latest refill she received from her pharmacy was $14,729.99 for the same 10 vials. And the company is one of these companies that is absolutely gouging American consumers and patients. It's called Valiant Pharmaceuticals. I'm going after them. We are going to stop this. This is predatory pricing. It is unjustified. It is wrong. And we're going to make sure it is stopped.
He has taken politics to a new place with his negative branding of people, whether it's saying Jeb Bush is low energy or talking about Lion Ted Cruz. And for his supporters, it's really worked. He has lately taken to calling you, I believe, corrupt Hillary, and he's had some rather personal and pointed tweets. Have you learned anything from watching the way that Republicans dealt with him in the primaries that will inform how you will deal with such an unconventional candidate?
Well, you know, remember, I have a lot of experience dealing with men who sometimes get off the reservation in the way they behave and how they speak. I'm not going to deal with their temper tantrums or their bullying or their efforts to try to provoke me. He can say whatever he wants to say about me. I could really care less. I'm going to stand up for what I think the American people need and want in the next president. That's why I've laid out very specific plans. There's nothing secret about what I want to do with the economy, with education, with healthcare, with foreign policy. I've laid it all out there. And he can't, or he won't. I can't tell which. So we're going to talk about what we want to do for the country, and he can continue on his insult fest, but that's the choice he's making.
After a major terrorist attack, every society faces a choice between fear and resolve. The world's great democracies can't sacrifice our values or turn our backs on those in need. Therefore, we must choose resolve, and we must lead the world to meet this threat. Now, let's be clear about what we're facing. Beyond Paris, in recent days, we've seen deadly terrorist attacks in Nigeria, Lebanon, Iraq, and Turkey, and a Russian civilian airline destroyed over the Sinai. At the heart of today's new landscape of terror is ISIS. They persecute religious and ethnic minorities, kidnap and behead civilians, murder children. They systematically enslave, torture, and rape women and girls. ISIS operates across three mutually reinforcing dimensions: a physical enclave in Iraq and Syria, an international terrorist network that includes affiliates across the region and beyond, and an ideological movement of radical jihadism. We have to target and defeat all three. And time is of the essence. ISIS is demonstrating new ambition, reach, and capabilities. We have to break the group's momentum, and then it's back. Our goal is not to deter or contain ISIS, but to defeat and destroy ISIS. But we have learned that we can score victories over terrorist leaders and networks only to face metastasizing threats down the road. So we also have to play and win the long game. We should pursue a comprehensive counterterrorism strategy, one that embeds our mission against ISIS within a broader struggle against radical jihadism that is bigger than any one group, whether it's Al-Qaeda or ISIS or some other network. An immediate war against an urgent enemy and a generational struggle against an ideology with deep roots will not be easily torn out. It will require sustained commitment in every pillar of American power. This is a worldwide fight, and America must lead it. Our strategy should have three main elements. One, defeat ISIS in Syria, Iraq, and across the Middle East. Two, disrupt and dismantle the growing terrorist infrastructure that facilitates the flow of fighters, financing, arms, and propaganda around the world. Three, harden our defenses and those of our allies against external and homegrown threats. Let me start with the campaign to defeat ISIS across the region. The United States and our international coalition has been conducting this fight for more than a year. It's time to begin a new phase and intensify and broaden our efforts to smash the would-be caliphate and deny ISIS control of territory in Iraq and Syria. That starts with a more effective coalition air campaign, with more allied planes, more strikes, and a broader target set. A key obstacle standing in the way is a shortage of good intelligence about ISIS and its operations. So we need an immediate intelligence surge in the region, including technical assets, Arabic speakers with deep expertise in the Middle East, and even closer partnership with regional intelligence services. Our goal should be to achieve the kind of penetration we accomplished with Al-Qaeda in the past. This would help us identify and eliminate ISIS's command and control and its economic lifelines. A more effective coalition air campaign is necessary, but not sufficient. And we should be honest about the fact that to be successful, airstrikes will have to be combined with ground forces actually taking back more territory from ISIS. Like President Obama, I do not believe that we should again have 100,000 American troops in combat in the Middle East. That is just not